This is an interview between me and a group of people outside of Harvard University, and we talk about three major subjects. One, the upcoming elections that are going to be happening here in the United States, and two, the conflict that is happening currently in the Middle East, and three, the ongoing migrant crisis that is happening here inside of America. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to this channel for more interviews in the future. With what's going on in the Middle East, and this year we're going to have elections in 2024, who do you think will be best to resolve this conflict?
Unfortunately, neither. You're dealing with either an alt-right extremist candidate or a closeted centrist of a Democrat that really isn't going to do anything because he's in bed with giving billions of funding and not allowing any sort of sanctions on that. So it's really tough. I mean, in our city, in our country right now, we have a really fucked up political system. If anybody remembers, Joe Biden was in 4th place after the New Hampshire primaries in 2020, and then all the other candidates except Bernie dropped out, backed fucking Joe Biden, and all of a sudden he was the #1 front runner. And in 2016, when we tried to bring a progressive candidate once again with Bernie Sanders, we ran into super delegates that Hillary was already going to win and was already ahead before we even got to California for the primaries. So when you're dealing with such a distorted scale of choices, either alt-right or kind of pretty much moderate Republican, maybe slightly left with Biden, you're not really going to get a lot done. So I feel like the kids and a lot of people around the country are doing the right thing, that we can't wait till an election. We have to take it to the streets. We have to bring it back to the spirit of what happened in the mid-60s when we were disenchanted with a lack of change. The Vietnam War, 50,000 people dying and whatnot, and nothing was happening. So I definitely think that neither candidate is going to provide much hope for this situation, and what we're doing right now and whatnot across the country is the best way to sort of seek attention and activism and whatnot.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And he was talking about Joe Biden being in bed with other countries and stuff like that. And do you think the politicians are currently trying to fund this crisis that's going on in the Middle East, or?
I don't even think it's a question if the military is funding it. There is obviously like $90 billion that has already been passed by Congress to go over there. And I think the rhetoric is that the military-industrial complex is protecting the United States or protecting the interests of Israel, but I fundamentally do not trust the agenda of the military-industrial complex.
Okay, who will you guys be voting for in 2024?
I mean, as of right now, there is no progressive candidate. So whoever is the most progressive, genuine candidate.
Okay, if it gets down to Donald Trump and Joe Biden, who will you guys support?
There'll be a third party.
And I mean, I'm going to support who I always support, Vermin Supreme, the #1 political candidate that offers everybody a free pony, that if we're already going to throw away a vote to once again pretty much a centrist Democratic candidate that isn't doing anything. Where was all the police reform, Mr. Biden? Where was all the stuff you promised in 2020? Marijuana is legal in 30 to 40 states, but at this point, still no federal grip on that. And when it comes to the minimum wage, when it comes to a lot of issues where inflation is kicking the living shit out of us, like $8 for eggs and whatnot, and we can't get a raise on the $7.85 national minimum wage. He's not doing anything. He's a puppet up there, and he's a puppet for other people that are already comfortable and settled and just trying to get their corporate backers happy, so neither of them. If anything, Bernie, come out of retirement, AOC, let's do this, let's get in the game.
And also here in the United States, we received over 8 million, potentially up to 16 million migrants. What do you guys think about the migrant crisis that's going on here in America?
I support open borders.
You support open borders?
Oh, hell yeah.
And why do you guys support open borders?
This isn't our country. This country was founded on genocide and rape culture and taking it from indigenous people. Whoever the wants to come here should be able to come here. Why did we get to come here? Why did my ancestors get to come here? They were actually fleeing oppression of the UK. So it's just like the cycle repeats itself until it doesn't. Like, this isn't our country. This is Turtle Island, and it belongs to indigenous people. And it wouldn't have been the United States of America if it wasn't for rape culture.
And genocide.
Really? So you guys believe America was founded on a genocide and
culture, absolutely.
Okay. And do you guys have any concerns with people coming over the country that we don't know who they are? With a lot of the people that are coming over the country, we don't know who they are, and they change their names once they cross the border. You guys have any issues with that?
I mean, we don't know who's in this country.
Yeah.
Do you know how many shooters and serial killers and people in this country that are incredibly violent?
How many politicians are fucking rapists?
Yeah,
who literally run our country and are here to keep us safe? And how many cops have been brutally hitting students, young children? Like videos of children looking out the window, watching their friends get beat by adult grown-ass men. What the fuck? If that's not genocide and culture, I'm really not sure what is.
And so what do you guys think will be the solution to all this?
A spiritual revolution where people truly understand that we're all connected and that they are connected to their own bodies, because you wouldn't be able to violate the body of another person if you were connected to your own humanity and your own body. And so it's like a psychological heart spiritual revolution where we have to unprogram the psychology that we prioritize profit over humanity, over connection. And in this capitalist culture where profit is the main priority, we're not going to be able to achieve that.
Okay. And America is primarily a Christian country. Do you think Jesus would be the answer to all this solution? Or America's primarily a Christian country. Do you think more people need to start believing in Jesus and following his teachings?
Jesus is also a patriarchal story that has been co-opted by mainstream religion.
And white people.
Yeah.
His literal name was Yeshua. Like, that's not even his name, you know?
So it's not about institutional religious indoctrination of people trying to control them. It's about a genuine connection to the spirit and godliness and nature.
And the body. Like we were just talking about this morning, this genocide couldn't happen if it wasn't for the level of true disembodiment, which is also perpetuated by the prison industrial complex, the medical industrial complex, capitalism, I mean, the whole 9 yards. People aren't in their bodies, or they wouldn't be able to pretend like this isn't happening, or be desensitized to it.
Okay, and do you think there is a current leader who could potentially become president that could solve these issues?
No.
It's about community.
No, it's not. It's not going to be a top-down revolution.
There's no savior.
Because in hierarchy and in the current political system, everyone will be corrupted by money.
Mm-hmm. Wow, interesting. So do you think the money is the root of all evil?
It's not money, it's capitalism. Money is just a tool. Capitalism is a psychology and a consciousness.
Would we be better underneath socialism?
Socialism is a political system. Communism is a political system. Capitalism is an economic system. So people get very confused when you talk about dismantling capitalism. That has nothing to do with communism. It has nothing to do with socialism. This is political versus economic systems. And if we want to change an economic system, then we will have the imagination to form a political system that's actually about community and supporting the planet.
Okay. I have one last question. Right now, so what's going to most likely happen is the election will come down to Donald Trump and Joe Biden. If you guys have one message for those people that are running for president, what is your message?
That we have to take down Wall Street and the consciousness of capitalism.
You?
Absolutely. Taking down the corporations, giving them their own fair share of taxes, and bringing that money to the people. Let's raise that minimum wage. Let's cut the crap on not having universal health care. There's a lot of people when you walk around these streets that are sick as hell. So let's have a little bit more of the community and the giving instead of trying to separate people by mass and gender so we're screaming at each other when we're all basically on the same page when it comes to the struggle in this country. So I just hope they understand that and stop trying to cause separation and divide over these topics when we should be focusing on the bigger picture.
And what would be your message?
Stop raping women and children and sex trafficking them. We know that that's what this country and this whole world is functioning on, and we're on to you, and time's up.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing and liking this video, and I promise you're going to like this video that's right here on the screen. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.